So let's talk about what happens when you have an email list and you have a number of subscribers that are inactive, and how do you re-engage them? So a lot of times what happens is you pay people opt in and they do nothing, or they may see your first email, then after they stop. And so it's normal to have people come in and out of your emails. So I wouldn't be alarmed about it. It's going to happen. So but you want to maximize what you're doing and how you can maximize the number of people staying active. So one of course, is if you're consistently sending emails to your list, consistently adding value and offering them something, then there's going to be a normal in and out of people, and some people are just going to stop, being engaged. And so what you can do is those that are unengaged, you can put them into a re-engagement campaign of some sort. I'll talk through what that looks like. And so you're always going to want to do this, and you're always going to want to start. It's a good way of also cleaning your list too, because even some people may not want to hear from you or they anymore, and they may not unsubscribe. So that affects your open rates as well. So you want to keep your open rates high. So having a re-engagement sequence activates as many as possible, and then also you can start to put these inactive people into a separate category as well as you're segmenting your list. And so that is important, so that when you are sending to your list, you can segment to the highest open rate folks instead of trying to send it to everybody. And with the number of changes that are happening with email ISPs and things like that, especially with Google, they are constantly looking at your open rates. And the more your open rates start to sink below 15-20%, then they're going to start moving your emails to the promotion folder, and then it starts to kind of go down from there and tick down from there. So you want to keep your open rates as clean as they possibly can, as high as you possibly can, with your email list. So that's why you want to do a re-engagement to hopefully get people to at least open your emails, so you know that they're at least still there, and it just helps you clean your list a lot easier as well. So one of which, you got to identify your subscribers. So normally we look at any inactive subscriber that's over 3 months old, that is never hasn't opened it or opened an email in over 3 months. If someone hasn't opened one of your emails in 3 months and you're consistently sending emails, then they're inactive. And so what I would do is then anything over and if they've opted in over 3 months and they haven't opened anything in 3 months, then that's where you're going to start to segment all your inactive subscribers. I would separate them out, create a category depending upon your autoresponder. Most of them have pretty easy ways of doing it, and so just create a unengaged list or segment of your list, and that way you can do that. And then when you are sending to your active emails, you segment those out so you can keep two different sides of it. And then what you do is in a re-engagement campaign. And so essentially what you're going to be doing, and it's mostly just a lot of it, like the subject lines are short and like a surprise, I have a gift for you inside, or open up to see what I have for you. Really like blind, like interesting things that they can open the emails. The reason you're doing that is that you just want to see who's actually seeing it and how much curiosity you can get someone to come in. And so when they do open it, all it's going to be pure content, and it's going to be some sort of, something free gift of some sort, something you can give away for free that you're interested in. Checklists, ebooks, anything really. You can also do like a lot of uh, books that are out of copyright. You can send those too. So there's multiple things you can do, and you can Google different ideas for what would be free for your niche. But the idea is to do pure content only with really um, short, hyper curious headlines. The idea is to get as many of those people to open, and you want to send them between every, probably 3 to 4 days. And you want to send them out and do that for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then what you do is anytime someone opens that email, they become an active um, um, subscriber at that point. Then you can send your normal emails too. So that's what you want to do, is you want to churn as many of those out, and then you're essentially left with whoever goes through the sequence and still doesn't open. Then those are permanent inactive. You can either keep them in your autoresponder if they don't charge you for that, or you can export them and keep them as a CSV file somewhere. So that's what you want to do with that. And then with the special incentives, anything that can get them to get going. And a lot of times it's really nice to be able to do that, because some people may not have opened your emails, and you'll tell them like, hey, I'm gonna unsubscribe you if you don't open these emails. And that's really what you want to do. And then other things you can do if they do open is ask for feedback. Say, hey, I have a 30-second quiz or a 30-second assessment. What's going on? What do you want? And then also, if they just want to unsubscribe, allow them unsubscribe. You don't necessarily, if they don't want to stay there, don't keep them there. It's okay to have people leave. It's right. They may come back later. They may not. It's okay. But you don't want to keep dead leads there just because. So if you can allow them to stay there, then definitely unsubscribe them. And then use this to figure out what kind of content is actually working for that list too. So you may find certain incentives or certain gifts that you give have really high open rates, or higher open rates than others. You probably won't have a high open rate with a re-engagement campaign, but you do see ones that are higher than others. And so those would be interesting to also give to your regular list as well, and utilize that, because then you can see what's really working, especially with those that are only somewhat interested. So those are kind of things that you can do to engage your list. Again, it's something everybody has to do with their lists. A lot of people don't like doing it. It's one of those things that everybody knows they need to do it, but they don't want to, because you've either paid money, they've been part of your list for so long, you don't want to let go. But you do gotta let go. It's not healthy for your list open rates overall, and so it's just it's what happens over time is people lose interest. They may have changed their email, but if you can segment those out, your email open rates will continue to stay high. You continue to grow the right people. You're not looking for everybody. You're looking for the right people to follow you on your email list, and so that's really what you want to be able to do is segment those folks out, because they're just not interested anymore. And it's not anything to do with what you're doing or not doing. Unless you're finding a large amount of people, then you may want to adjust. And so that's good feedback anyway of what's happening. And so you can adjust your emails to maybe hopefully have less of them, but everybody who's ever had an email is always going to have unengaged folks. And it's best just to segment them out and then export them and get them off your list, and keep your list healthy. So hopefully this has been helpful, and start up your re-engagement list. If you have a list over 90 days old, you need to start now. So if you haven't done it yet, get started right now.